For this video, I'm back at Bishopwearmouth Cemetery, just going to have a look at a number of headstones around this area. We're close to the Southern Cemetery Chapel, which is falling apart. Now these are two old headstones, looks like from the late 1850s, so just a couple of years after the cemetery was opened. I love these old ones with the lettering. And so this is the family burial place of John Sidgwick. Now, this one is to the memory of John Pyle of the Londonderry Arms Hotel. So today that is the Peacock, just on High Street West. And that says late Sergeant of the something regiment. So possibly after the army, he ended up running the Londonderry Arms. I'm just guessing because I've never researched this particular person. And there's also another member of the family, can't read that, who was drowned off Salerno, Italy, February 25th, who's 38 years. So a lot of that one is like eroded and so on. But this is for more members of the Sidgwick family. Some lovely lettering down there. So, family burial place of John Sidgwick, erected into the memory of Edwin, son of John and Margaret Sidgwick of the Londonderry Hotel, who departed this life February 18, 1850. Let me see what that is. Later, age 9 months. Also the daughter Charlotte Ann, who departed this life 1858, aged 7 years and 9 months. Weep not for us. Also their son William Mears Sidgwick, a chemist, who departed this life March the 5th, 1859, aged 19 years and 5 months. And then there's another John Sidgwick who died at 14, so it looks like those 4 children quite young. So there he is, chemist. Obviously didn't last long with his career as a chemist. It would have been a good profession in the 1850s. They're also called druggists as well. Chemists, druggists and so on. I'm going to show you a name over here. Oh, we'll have a look at this one. Now look at this, this is a fine one. In loving memory of Alexander McKinnon of Buenos Aires. It's supposed to be Buenos Aires, but somebody has probably spelled it wrong. Dearly loved husband of Anne-Marie Pedersen Dick McKinnon, who died July the 7th, 1928. He was a Scottish tea dealer, and he died, I think he was on holiday in Sunderland. Now, his family had been between Argentina and Scotland for decades. There was a population of Scottish emigrants who sort of lived out there and went backwards and forwards between the two. So I think his granddad was the first to go there. When you come to old cemeteries, I love some of the old names that you see, not just the surnames but the Christian names. Also when they used to put surnames as first names to carry on the mother's maiden name, the grandmother's maiden name and so on. That's one of my favourite. This gentleman here had the first name of Fountain James Belsham. And that's a lot of memorials mention family members who died in the Great War, even though they're not buried here. Just remember there's Private Ellison Wallace Kerr, youngest brother, who was killed in action in France, 1916, aged 32 years. Sadly, so common across the cemeteries. So I'll just see if anything catches my eye from that I know from the past that I've either researched or had a look at. This area, I think, was one of the first to be used for burials in the late 1850s. It would have been a desirable location as well. because it was close to the chapel and close to the footpath, and you were near the great and the good, so it was one of the prime positions. I think it was an Anglican section. See, this is in memory, this grand obelisk is for members of the Cowell family. Now, in memory of Margaret Cowell, died October 16th, 1862, aged 40 years, and one of the commonest epitaphs, blessed are the dead which die in the Lord. Now, this mentions two children of the above interred in the Gill Cemetery. Arthur Wellesley Cowell died October 26th, 1853, aged 11 months, and Arthur Cowell, who was his brother, who died April 17th, 1854, aged 11 years. So there's like two of the names of people, the thousands buried at the Gill Cemetery. Now, the reason, if you notice there, Arthur Wellesley was the name of the Duke of Wellington. Now, he died, if I remember correctly, in 1853, and with being a national hero, Margaret decided to call her son after Arthur Wellesley, but sadly he died, and then she decided to name the next son Arthur Cowell, again after Arthur, the Duke of Wellington. Now, the coincidence is that the Gill Cemetery, the land for it was given by the rector of Bishopwearmouth Parish, who was the brother of the Duke of Wellington. So they're both buried at the Gill Cemetery, those two young brothers. Lots of squirrels around this morning. Also mentions another member of the Major William Ralph Cowell, DSO, was a Distinguished Service Order, I can't remember. First Cape Corps South African forces who fell in action in Kerbet, Jubit, Palestine. Quorfetavaka, 1918, so he must have been fighting the Ottoman forces out in Palestine. And Sunderland, Bishopwearmouth, back in that time, there's lots of internationals came from Europe and the rest of the world. There's a prime example, Waldemar George Hansen Brandt, born in Copenhagen, 13th of August 1835, died at Sunderland, 20th of January 1903. So it's that about 68-year-old, so Danish gentleman. That's a grand Latin name. And beloved husband Septimus Truitt Chat. There's quite a few Truitts. They originated in over West Auckland and arrived in Sunderland back in the day. Here's one I'm looking for. It's for a hotelier. Find it some other time. You see lots of, this is one of the prime rows in Bishopwearmouth Cemetery. If you have a look, there's the entrance. So these would be family burial plots for lots of them are ship owners, shipbuilders. There's Thompson. Samuel, third son of Samuel Peter Austin. That's got to be the Austin shipbuilders. I've just seen the one I want. Sweet, isn't it? William Dixon Esquire, Justice of the Peace, Surgeon. I think there's 4 Dixon headstones, all after each other. That's a fine slate headstone. Members of the Dunn family. So, see. Also, Mary Ann Dunn, daughter of the above, died 4th February 1856, aged 25 years, and was interred in the Rector's Gill Cemetery. So that is the Gill Cemetery. Most references to call it the Gill Cemetery, but some people call it Rector's Gill, Galley's Gill, Gillbridge. There's a nice epitaph. The Sweet. remembrance of the just shall flourish when they sleep in dust. So, benefit of slate is it lasts well, so you get good inscriptions on that. Got this one over here. Now, this is the members of the Shield family. Now, George Shield and Anne Shield were of Fawcett Street, Bishopwearmouth. Now, George was Scottish. I believe he was a commercial traveller at first, and he came up with the idea to have a hotel close to the railway station. So that was quite revolutionary in sort of 1850s, 1860s Sunderland, because the closest major hotel, I think, was the Bridge Hotel down bottom of High Street West. So the Queen's Hotel is what he built. It was on the site of where Woolworths was, on Fawcett Street. And it was one of the best hotels in the whole of the north. Now, it mentions here an affectionate remembrance of their children, Kate, Mary, that's first and middle name, who died February the 10th, 1862. Aged 3 years, and then Lizzie Minnie died February the 13th, 1862, aged 1 year. So in the space of 3 days, they lost 2 daughters. Sad tragedy for the Shield family, and we've got to remember this couple would have had, a high standard of living, but as again, didn't stop your children catching diseases. Now, if that wasn't bad enough, that was 1862. In 1879, their son Robert Thompson Shield was out on business in Natal in South Africa. Now, in 1879, the Zulu War was taking place, and he got caught up in war fever and decided to join the British Army. But sadly, on August the 14th, 1879, he died aged 25 years old and is there buried. And when I read, it was down as native fever, one of the many fevers people from Britain or Europe might catch when they go there. But then, if the following month, his son George Rutherford Shield had been ill, so they were taking a voyage from up in Scotland, I think, at Rothesay. And it says Rothesay NB, which was another name for Scotland, was North Britain back in the 1800s, and he died September 22nd, 1879. It said, and he was 23 years old, and he was buried there. It said he'd been ill for a while, so I wouldn't be surprised if he had consumption, TB, and he'd gone there to recuperate with his mother. So George and Anne are both buried here. So with all of these, any of these people that I've mentioned on this video today, if you go into Sunderland history, for instance, if you just type the names, do a search, you'll come up like the full story I've written about them. I'm just going to have another look down this older part of the cemetery, see if there's... That's fine, look at that. That's good old right in that. Look at that. The burial ground of Cuthbert Allison, who died May the 23rd, 1860, aged 69 years. Also Dorothy Allison, sister of the above, who died June the 10th, 1866, 72. So good age, he's 69, 72. And his wife, Margaret, the relict, again, relict was a widow who never married. She died 12th of January, 1868, aged 78 years. So the three of them had good age lives. And then also Dorothy Ridley, sister of the above Margaret, so that's the sister-in-law of Cuthbert Allison, died December 30th, 1871, aged 73 years. So they've all decent ages there, 73, 78, 72, 68, so 69, whatever it was. So they're all born in the 1700s. So there's actually here 2 graves purchased in perpetuity. So they've actually, Cuthbert has bought that for the family, so there'll be 2 spots be there and the one next to it, so there'll be probably two people buried in each one. But I said this is probably one of my favourite bits of Bishopwearmouth Cemetery, this one. So much history. I've researched quite a few of them, but still only a small proportion because you're spoilt for choice. So again, another slate headstone. Absolute perfect. That's 1864 and 1873, the best family. Where they came from, Bishopwearmouth. I always say people were quite specific where they were from. Bishopwearmouth, Sunderland, Monkwearmouth. It actually meant something in those days. As I also say about the drownings. Thomas Hunter, running fitter at Hetton Stays for 37 years, died on board the Wensleydale, April 6, 1869, aged 72 years. So I'm sorry, it doesn't actually say he drowned. I thought it did for a second there. There is a headstone down here, which I'll be coming to do like a special video on it, because it's probably got the saddest story I've ever written about. Probably need your hankies for that one. And I think we'll finish off with here today. Thomas Dryden died 1862, March, I think that's the 6th, 1862, age 42 years. Christ come quickly. Why do we mourn departing friends? Or something at death's, and then something about Jesus and call up his arms again. I always love a good epitaph. Shame I can't read that one. And then I'll finish with this one here. Another mention of the Gill Cemetery. Isabella Davison, wife of William Davison, died at Bishopwearmouth, December 16th, 1847, and look at that, aged 90 years, and again interred at the Gill Cemetery. And I'll just show you some lettering here. Lovely lettering. So thank you very much for watching. If you do like it, give it a like, and if you do want to subscribe, click on the subscribe so you get the next video. Thank you very much.